What's up, peeps? How you doing? My name is Dr. Sbenati. I'm a dentist here in London, Ontario, with my practice, Sbenati Dentistry on Hyde Park in Sarnia. This is not a plug, but just an introduction. And with us is
Michelle Lynn. I'm a dental hygienist of 18 years, and I'm here excited to share the journey about whitening.
And we're going to share some secrets, aren't we?
Yes, I think that there's a lot of things that the general public don't know that we can help get their teeth whiter and keep their teeth whiter and also healthier, which is really the most important.
Okay, let's get straight into it. Let's talk about the difference between, so we're going to talk, before we go into the difference between different products and whatnot, let's talk about the different kinds of staining, okay? Because before you whiten your teeth, you want to know why your teeth are even stained. So, correct me if I'm wrong, but there are two different types of staining. There's extrinsic and there's intrinsic staining. So, what's intrinsic staining?
So intrinsic is just exactly how it sounds. It's inside the tooth, right? So that comes from lots of different things. I think we're going to talk about that in a little bit. And then the difference of extrinsic, which is outside stain on the tooth. Okay.
So you have extrinsic, you have intrinsic. So how does a stain go from extrinsic, which is outside, like the surface of the tooth, to the inside? How does that happen?
Through the pores of the teeth.
Okay. So is it like if I eat a carrot once, then the tooth's going to be stained from the outside only? But if I eat it twice or three times, then that stain will travel inside? Like, is that how it works?
No, not really, right?
How does it work?
Well, I think, like, if you think about it, like... 2 or 3 times isn't going to do it. But what happens is your enamel starts to break down over time, right? From different foods that we're eating, different things that we're drinking. And frequency is a huge thing that people actually don't know about. It's not really, like I tell people, if you're going to slam down a Coke, it's better to do 20 all at once than it is to do one, but sip on it for 8 hours. So I'm a sipper, so I know that that's more detrimental to cavities and gum disease because it's frequency versus amount of the product that you're eating.
Okay, cool. So then, oh, sorry, I thought you finished.
No, I know that was, go ahead.
No, so then, so let's say I'm a coffee drinker, I'm a smoker, I drink soy sauce for fun. No, I'm joking. Like I eat a lot of sushi, which requires soy sauce. I drink wine, red and white, all at once.
Double fisting it. I say double fisting it with water, so.
What else do I do? I eat berries, right? I eat blueberries, red berries. What are red berries? I eat blueberries, raspberries, strawberries,
oranges.
Blackberries,
Don't you like oranges?
Oranges, carrots. What else do I do that's really bad for my teeth?
Energy drinks.
Major, yes.
Right? Lemon water. Oh my goodness.
Lemon water.
Another topic in itself.
So all those things are going to stain the living daylights out of my teeth.
Yes, and especially like frequency, because if you get a liquid sugar acid on your teeth, they go to an acid attack for 20 minutes.
Right.
And a solid's 40 minutes, right? So if you're constantly snacking or grazing, which a lot of people do, then you're going to be more exposed to the acid and sugar and more breakdown, which is going to cause more stain on the teeth.
Right.
And over time, then it's going to go from extrinsic to intrinsic.
Intrinsic. High five.
Yes.
High five. Okay. Cool. So then let's talk about how to get rid of the extrinsic staining, because first we want to tackle the outside before we tackle the inside, right?
That's probably...
Generally speaking, you'd wash the outside of your house before you wash the inside. Isn't that true? I mean, you don't leave garbage laying outside the house outside before you tackle the garbage inside, right?
Or what about if you clean from the outside and put it all on the...
You mean inside
put
out?
It all on the outside and then sweep it all away.
That could work too if you lived inside your tooth. But you don't live inside your tooth, so let's pretend like we live outside the tooth. Okay, so how do we clean our teeth from the outside? How do we tackle the extrinsic staining?
Well, I guess the biggest thing is how about flossing first?
Okay.
FF, right?
FF.
Because that's going to get anything
Flossing
out.
First.
Yes. So it gets anything stuck between the teeth out of there. That's going to help prevent from staying on the tooth, which is going to eventually stain it. You're going to brush away, right, anything that's left. And then, of course, I'm a huge fan of a water pick, but that's a whole nother topic in itself.
Okay, cool. So, floss first, brush second, water pick third.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's like the basics, right?
That's
then we have,
basics.
Yes, and then we have.
I don't use water pick.
We have to talk about that. We can't even be friends.
But I'm missing something. I didn't know I was missing. I mean, I recommend either the floss or the water pick, but
have to do
our dear
both.
Michelle here is saying that you should do both. Floss first, which I always do, and then brush second, and then water pick third. So talk about the brushing then.
Yes. So there's obviously lots of different toothpaste on the market that you can use to help whiten your teeth.
Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
So what that's going to do is
Why'd you say whitening your teeth like this?
because it's not really whitening your teeth. What
Okay.
it's doing
Yes.
is it's actually removing extrinsic stain, so your teeth appear whiter over time.
I like the way you said that one.
Yes. Well, it's true, isn't it?
It is, it
yes,
is.
you would agree then.
Yes.
Perfect.
Okay, so what you got there?
Toothpaste.
Okay.
And it's actually a whitening toothpaste.
Okay, so what makes it whitening versus like, the run-of-the-mill, no-brand toothpaste that's I find on the shelf?
Perfect.
Okay.
So AP actually means anti-plaque.
Okay.
So oh
right.
yes, are we holding it up?
There you go.
Yay!
There you go.
So I'm so excited. And
AP 24. Why 24?
you know what? I don't really know. I should maybe
24
find
hours.
Oh, that is good.
24-hour protection.
Well, I
Yes.
always recommend brushing twice a day, so that's really cool. So those people that only brush once a day at night, right? Because it is the most important, then that would protect you for 24 hours. So I'm going to actually investigate that because I can't confidently say.
I kind of just made that up.
It sounds like it
24.
could be real, right?
Yeah.
So
Well, I mean, anti-plaque for 24 hours kind of makes sense to me.
yes, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, I want to check one thing out. Okay,
Okay.
so there is silica in it, which a lot of toothpaste do have in it, which helps, it's an abrasive. And then there's also aluminum oxide, which actually helps remove stain off the teeth too as well. And it actually puts a coat back on your teeth, so it prevents stain from getting on your teeth again. So that's why you're actually then, as you're brushing, you keep removing intrinsic or extrinsic stain. So over time, like the stain that's in the pits of your teeth, it's going to actually come out of there, and then it's going to make your teeth whiter too as well.
Wow.
So
Okay.
it's actually really good. And it has fluoride in it, right? We do sell a product that doesn't have fluoride in it, but
Oh,
I am pro
okay.
fluoride because it helps with sensitivity. So I know for myself.
Just sensitivity?
Well, and cavities,
And
yes,
cavities.
sorry, that's probably actually more. But I know for me, like personally, I used to use a sensitive toothpaste.
Yeah.
And now I use the AP24 because it actually helps prevent against the sensitivity too, which is really awesome.
Awesome.
So I would actually, for this toothpaste, what I would tell people is floss first, brush with just water pick, and then pick this up. And you can brush for a minimum of 2 minutes based on your mouth and shape that it is and what you have going on in there, right? So then you brush, spit out, do not rinse out, leave it on your teeth, and that will actually help soak in and prevent cavities and help with sensitivity.
How long should you not rinse for? So after you
Okay.
brush, so you're brushing your teeth, you brush your teeth for 2 minutes at least, right?
Yes.
And then you spit, but am I swishing the sud in my mouth before I spit, or am I just spitting?
Well, I think you want to swish it for a minute. Isn't that what you said? Like research shows. I thought
Yeah,
that was
well,
pretty
where
interesting.
research does show that if you have this big sud inside your mouth and then you swish it kind of like mouthwash, you swish it, that kind of gives you the effect of like mouthwash with a lot of fluoride.
Yes, and it gets in the crevices
Right.
a little bit more, and
Yes.
the filling
That's right.
margins
That's
and
right.
all that fun stuff.
And gets to stick to your teeth. And then what happens is that when you spit it out, then that stuff is still on your teeth.
Mm-hmm.
So then how long should you not rinse for or should you not eat for after you spit?
So probably if you talk to a lot of different professionals, they
Yes.
would say a minimum of 2 minutes all the way to 30, which
Yes.
is probably more textbook, right?
Yes.
Now I say if you're using it at night because
Yes.
I don't like toothpaste and coffee in the morning,
Uh-huh.
so I would rinse out.
Gives it a bitter taste.
Yeah, exactly. Well, this one's a soft vanilla mint flavor, so you
Okay.
might actually like it with your coffee,
Oh.
but I personally don't want to ingest the fluoride.
Right.
So what I would do is at night,
Yeah.
I would actually just spit out and then leave it on the teeth overnight because then it's soaking in, especially a lot of people have recession where the gums have pulled up. You expose that area called dentin, which is all the little like microtubules. So if you imagine a sponge, it's like all those little tiny tubules and it's going direct communication to the nerve. So the toothpaste comes along with fluoride, plugs it up, and gets that barrier.
It's like paint. It paints it on.
Exactly.
Okay,
Yep.
cool. So you're spitting, you're not rinsing, and then what happens?
It sits on the teeth
Right.
and like helps desensitize and
So
prevent
over
against
time.
yes.
So you're using this. So folks, we're talking about this AP24 that Michelle is selling, and she's a strong believer in it. She's been using it for how long now?
Okay, so I started last November using it, but I was
Yeah.
only using it once a day because I was a little wigged because it's my teeth and does it work and like all that stuff. And then in October of this year, I was like full-fledged. It was working, and I took before and after pictures, and now I use it twice a day.
Twice a day, folks.
Yes.
Twice a day. AP24, new skin, twice a day. Get it from Michelle.
Dry brush, no water. That's really key because it helps the abrasivity work on the teeth. So
it makes it more abrasive if you don't put water.
yes.
So no
And
water, folks.
the abrasivity level, so for all people that are concerned about it, the general 250 is the highest that they would recommend. You can use it on a daily basis for your
Okay.
mouth lifelong.
Yeah.
This one actually only sits at 103.
Okay.
So it's less than half. So it's and it's even less than Tom's, which is the natural toothpaste on the market. So
Okay.
it's designed for sensitive teeth, and it's not abrasive, which I think a lot of people were concerned about.
Okay, good. So it's not too abrasive. It's half as abrasive as what is recommended or as allowed to use with toothpaste, which is 250 in the degrees that they associate with abrasiveness.
Yes.
Okay, so that's cool. Okay, so this tackles the extrinsic staining.
Yes.
Okay, so now that we've taken care of the extrinsic staining using AP24. This, by the way, is not sponsored by AP24 whatsoever. Not getting paid at all by AP24.
Well, I kind of am.
Well, she is, but I'm not. So when I say AP24, I'm doing it for her.
Thank you.
so anyway, okay. So after you do the extrinsic staining, after you tackle that, how do you tackle the intrinsic staining? What do you do?
Well, there's tons of different products on the market,
Okay.
and I think you have one of them too as well, right?
Okay, so what's the principle behind it? Like what is all those products? What are they using in order to tackle the inside staining?
Peroxide.
Peroxide.
Yes.
Yes. Hydrogen peroxide, to be more specific.
Yes.
So hydrogen peroxide, what does it do to your teeth?
It whitens them.
Okay. How does it do that?
It gets into the teeth,
Yes.
and it goes into the pores,
Yes.
and it changes the molecules, and it lightens them. Correct?
Yes.
Vaguely.
Yes.
You want to go a little bit deeper than
Vaguely,
that?
yes. There are some people saying hello. Kayla is saying.
Oh, hey, Kayla.
Hey, Kayla. Okay, so yes, you're right. So it does go inside the pores, but what it does is it actually breaks down the pigments. Okay, it breaks them down.
Yep.
And then because it breaks them down, it allows the light to actually shine through, right? And it shines through, and so then if you have, the way that color works is that, let's say this here, green, okay? So green is, all the light is bouncing off except the green,
Right.
right? But if you take away the green, right, then all the light's gonna bounce off. Nothing is gonna get absorbed. So same thing happens with your teeth. So if you break down all the pigments,
Yeah.
then the staining pigmentation is not going to be absorbed by the light. Nothing's going to get absorbed by the light. So then light comes and hits your teeth and bounces off and it looks white.
Ooh, a little science for you there.
There you go. Isn't that cool? All right. So this is how it works. And this here, again, not sponsored by Opalescence Go, but this is one of the products that I highly recommend because it is one of the best on the market. It has 15% hydrogen peroxide. 15, that's 1.5. Hydrogen peroxide, which is a very, very strong concentration. And I do not recommend that you sleep with this level of concentration of hydrogen peroxide in your mouth because...
No good. It'd be so sensitive. Does it stop working though after like 2 hours or 4 hours?
It's not that.
Or
No,
what's the deal?
No, it's not that. It's because it harms your gums.
Well, it'd be burning them, right?
Yes, right. It could really harm your gums.
And it's not custom because it's just a generic tray that they make, so it's not a custom
Right.
tray that you
So-
would use like some offices make.
That's right. Okay,
Right.
so this is not made to be custom. This is that's why it's called Opalescence Go. So basically, the way it works is
go.
yeah, just go, just take it and go, just take it and go. Okay. So basically, what you do is you take one a day. Okay. So there are 10 of these things. Okay, every day. Okay. So you take one. Okay, there's top and bottom. So I'm going to demonstrate this.
Oh, yay. I'm so excited.
Okay, are you guys ready for this? This is a live demonstration on Facebook. And we have our friends from Morocco and from I think Waterloo. Okay, so check this out. So I just opened up the pack. Okay, so you have the top and you have the bottom. So you see how this is large and this is small. So
Yes.
check this out.
And it has a U for upper and an L for lower.
That's right. Okay, this is the U. Okay, but if you don't see the U and the L, that's the bigger one that goes in the top, and that's the smaller
Dropping.
one that goes. So this here, look, check it out. So I opened it up. Okay, so I opened it up. This is like a product review. Okay, so I opened it up like this. All right, and then you have the top tray and you have the bottom tray, and then here it says U for upper and L for lower. Isn't that cool?
So cool.
Okay, so I'm gonna put this here. This is the upper. I'm gonna put it, and since you're here with me, guess what you're gonna do?
The lower.
The lower.
Oh, yay.
Okay, so what you do is very easy. So you put this inside your mouth like this. Okay, and you press. Okay. And then you take out the green thing. Okay, and what's left is that white thing that was inside the green tray. Okay, so notice how hers is also empty. Okay, you could have actually used it for the upper.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
I didn't know.
I know. Okay.
Should I take it off?
It's
No,
it's
because
fine.
all the stuff will be on there.
It's fine. So how long do we leave it on there for?
20 minutes.
20 minutes. That's right. Okay, so we're leaving it on for 20 minutes, and you do this for 10 days in a row. Now what happens if someone is starting to feel sensitive?
Then you can take it off early if you'd like, right?
Okay, but then do you continue using it like next day?
Usually I say take a day break.
Right.
Because that would be, and you just extend the whitening period because this is for 10 days, you're saying for 20 minutes.
That's
so
right.
it might take them 20 minutes. And then also like really what I would do I would tell patients even you could put some sensitive toothpaste in there after you're done wearing it and just put this back in and just like set it on there maybe for 5-10 minutes, whatever, spit it out, and then half an hour don't eat or drink. That might be a
that
good
could work
post-op.
too. That's actually a good suggestion. Never thought of that one.
Lots of different stuff. You
Yeah.
can use that one, I'll
So
let you.
there you go. So there's a trick for you. Okay, one of the tricks for you is to use some desensitizing toothpaste such as Sensodyne toothpaste or anything that has the chemical ingredient potassium nitrate. That would, I'm sure you knew that, but I put her on the spot. That would clog the pores and it will calm down the nerves so that you can continue using these the next day. Okay? And if you're still feeling sensitive the next day, don't use them and just give it a day break and then continue on the next day. Okay? Cool? Cool beans?
Yes.
Cool beans. So this here, again, Opalescence Go comes in 10 trays. Again, I'm not sponsored by them. I wish I was. And I didn't get this for free. So basically you get this, you pull this one out, there's 10 trays, and you can't forget it because, you know, they design it that way. Okay? Cool? 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 All right, cool. So now we talked about how to whiten your teeth using the principles of the intrinsic, extrinsic staining. Now, what is the one thing that people often forget when they're whitening their teeth? What do they forget to do in terms of diet?
Probably they're eating the wrong foods while they're whitening.
Let's talk about that for a second.
Okay.
Okay.
So
what kind of wrong foods are they eating?
Well,
and why should they care?
Of course, while you're whitening, your pores in your teeth are going to open up a lot more. You're going to be more able to take on staining. So, you're going to want to avoid particular foods, which generally most of us eat them every day or drink them every day, right?
Like what? Let's list them. Coffee.
Tea. Red wine. White wine.
White wine.
Orange juice.
Orange juice.
Berries, like we talked about earlier.
So berries. So strawberries, blueberries, raspberries, blackberries, any kind of berries. Okay? Soy sauce.
Oh, yes.
Soy sauce.
Tomato sauces.
Tomato sauce.
Basically anything that has pigmentation, right? Sorry, I'm just like hacking up some bleaching material.
So are you doing okay?
Yeah, totally. Yeah. I should have probably put it on the top. I wouldn't be salivating so much too as well. So
Probably.
that would probably help.
Yeah. So okay, so anything that would stain your teeth, you want to stay away from during what period? Like how long should they stay away from?
Well, really forever if you think about it.
Yeah.
But that's not realistic.
But I mean,
right?
but they want to maximize their whitening. So when should they stay away from all this, coloring?
During the whitening process.
During the
right?
whitening process, family.
And I would even say maybe a few days after. Like I
Yes,
believe in the power of
high
3. So,
That's right.
But honestly, we talked about double fisting it because I'm a sipper. I generally double fist with water and whatever I'm drinking. So because I'm a grazer, I like to sip on coffee and tea. I generally will have a little sip of tea, and then I will drink a little bit of water. And I don't always do this, but ideally, if you could rinse your mouth out for about 30 seconds, really aggressively, the water kind of swishes in and gets into the nooks and crannies around margins of filling.
And you do that after every sip of coffee?
You should.
So
yes.
you take a sip, and then another one is water. You swish around for 30 seconds.
Yeah, but I don't swish for probably no, but for example, if I'm working, right, I'll take a sip of tea and then I'll be doing paperwork. So I'll take a sip of tea, take the sip of water, do the paperwork, and then 10 minutes later I might come back and have another sip. So because 20 minutes for liquid sugar or acid, if it takes me 3 hours to drink that tea, my mouth would be bathing in that tea acid for
makes sense.
3 hours or whatever,
Hence the water.
Exactly. So it's better to, ideally drink through a straw, right? Pass your teeth down your throat. Huge difference.
And that's why her teeth are so white. Her teeth are glaringly, yes, and also because of this. Okay, so those are your tips. Okay, so we talked about extrinsic staining, intrinsic staining, how to whiten your teeth, how to tackle the extrinsic using toothpaste, and this is one of the examples. And if you want one, you can contact Michelle. And this is another one for intrinsic staining, and this is Opalescence Go. And if you want one, then you contact Sbenati Dentistry because we sell them. And what else? So that's how you do it. So then, what foods can people eat? I mean, after all the things that they're gonna avoid eating, right? So basically, you're telling them not to eat any of these nice foods. What can they eat?
Greens, right?
Greens.
That's amazing.
Greens work.
Bananas, potassium for sensitivity, so that's really good. Cheese.
Okay, cheeses, milk.
Yep. Hands down, water. Just water, straight up water. That's the only
water,
thing.
rice.
Yeah.
Pasta with no tomato sauce.
That's right.
What about pasta with Alfredo sauce?
Well, I don't know, because if you start getting all crazy, it probably breaks down to a simple sugar at some point. So now you have that on your teeth, right? So what's it made out of? Is there white wine in this, white sauce? Because there would be probably.
A lot to contemplate. So in other words, for the time that you're actually whitening your teeth, you don't eat anything, you just drink water and you're Gucci. No, I'm joking.
Perfect.
I'm joking.
Do a little fasting as well, right? So.
No, I'm joking. But stay away from these heavy laden pigmentation foods, okay, so such as the ones that we just mentioned. Okay, so just stay away from them.
Yes, and I mean, realistically, most people are not going to stay away from them if you're being real.
But I mean, during the time that they're whitening.
During that process, they should. But like I said, if they're going to be exposed to it, probably have some water to rinse out really aggressively after to help with that.
I've had patients, let me tell you a story. So I've had patients who did buy this, okay, and they heeded my advice, okay, and they actually stayed away from all those bad foods. They're not bad, but they're, the coloring foods. They stayed away from them, and they came back, their teeth were white.
I believe it.
Like super white. And then I had others who I told them the exact same advice, and then they didn't listen to me. And so they came back, and their teeth were whiter, but nowhere near as white as the other people that I coached.
Because when they're whitening, the pores are open, so if they are cheating kind of with that stuff, they're getting as well as.
So they spend all this money, but they're not getting the benefit from it.
Well, maybe not the maximum benefit,
Not
right?
the maximum benefit.
That would be true. But also, there's things to keep in mind when whitening, right? Because people's enamel texture is different. It's kind of like tanning your skin.
Yeah.
Some people look at the sun and their skin goes dark, whereas other people burn or whatever. So texture of enamel is going to really affect whitening.
Right? That's true. Some people's textures in enamel are very thick. Other people's are very thin.
Right. And then obviously work is not going to whiten. So if they have fillings or different things like that. So there's all those different factors that people have to consider.
And that's why it's important to see your dentist. right? Because you want to get a proper assessment as to whether this is actually going to work for you or whether you have to do something else before you do this, such as, you know, consider changing your fillings or consider doing something else. Like maybe they have so many large fillings that even if they were to change their fillings, it's still not going to look as good because they probably need porcelain at that point.
Yes, some nice veneers or something going down.
Straight up, straight up. So, is there anything else that you want to give in terms of tips and tricks from hygiene and dentist to the world so they can whiten their teeth a lot more effectively?
I think really at the end of the day, good oral hygiene is like really important because obviously the more clean they are, the better the whitening products are going to work. So obviously before whitening, get a professional cleaning done, which is going to be nice, and then your dentist can check out. You guys can talk about whitening to make sure that you're going to get what we can kind of give. Well, you could probably give them what their expected results might be, because sometimes they're expecting that like Ross whiteout from Friends, and that might not be realistic for them, right? So, and some people obviously, like if their tooth is discolored inside, then it's gonna, like from a dead trauma or something like that, that's a whole nother ball game. So you can kind of help monitor, or not monitor, but maybe like let them know what their expectations realistically could be. They're realistic.
Kind of steer them in that direction.
Yes, exactly.
I got you. Cool. Well, thank you. That was awesome.
Has it been 20 minutes? Can we take these things off? Have you been timing?
It has not been 20 minutes. No, it has not. Okay. Well, thanks for those, because we're actually live on Facebook. So thanks for those that joined us on Facebook. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. And this has been really cool. Hope you enjoyed it. Make sure I'm going to do the whole like YouTube thing. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, and share if you found this beneficial, and tell your friends about us, because next time you're going to learn even more. All right, it was fun.